I was on the train into the city on some business, and I was doing some research on some places to, ghost hunt, contact the dead, and found out Houdini was buried right in the city. So it'd be interesting to do a historical figure and who else to try to contact after death, and the great Houdini.
Scott came up with this great idea of go seeing Houdini. He found out that on the train when he was going to Manhattan that there was somebody talking about Harry Houdini, and he said, well, let's go there for a ghost hunt. And I said, well, it's a challenge. And me personally, it was something that I really wanted to do because I was always like an amateur magician. So seeing Harry Houdini was more than a ghost hunt to me. It was something very special.
I basically got the idea through inspiration of Shawn Schildgen's project that he was doing previously with Houdini. And naturally, in the supernatural world, Houdini's name obviously is prominent, and who wouldn't want to try to engage him in some way, shape, or form?
Houdini, the greatest showman that ever walked this earth, died October 31st, 1926. Prior to his death, he was seeking out and exposing fraudulent spirit mediums. He boasted that there was nothing that a spirit medium could produce by way of alleged psychic phenomena that he could not reproduce by trickery. Despite this, he took no chances. He and his wife, the late Beatrice Houdini, resolved between them that, whichever one died before the other, that one would try to contact the survivor. They further agreed upon a secret code. This was decided upon to prevent fraudulent mediums or magicians from claiming that they were able to contact either one of the Houdinis. It was further agreed that the survivor would use every type of conceivable seance to contact the deceased. That, once each year, on the anniversary of the death, the survivor would hold a small gathering of friends so that some message might possibly be heard. All attempts were to be discontinued after 10 years. Houdini died first. His widow did not succumb until 1942. For 9 years after Harry Houdini's death, she tried to reach him. Once she seemed to believe that Arthur Ford, the celebrated spirit medium, had actually reached her husband. Later, she decided she had been mistaken, that Mr. Ford had not received the real code message. There were, during those years, almost daily reports of Houdini's spirit visiting mediums all over the world, but not a single instance could actually be proven. It is notable, however, that Houdini definitely did not contact the one living person he had loved most, his wife.
Yeah, the history on Harry Houdini, it's one of those, everybody's heard of him, more of a, as far as the escape artist, and trying to debunk some of the fake, fortune tellers of the time.
Yeah, I love magic. I love not only watching it, and I think Scott said Penn and Teller was one of his favorites, and that was definitely one of mine. They really picked it up. There's a lot of great magicians out there, but the whole illusion within itself is just, it's entertainment. And that's what these guys are. They're great entertainers. And Houdini was obviously the best.
What I wanted to accomplish by going to Houdini was to put to rest the idea that he was able to communicate with the living and dead. So I wanted to certainly see if that legend was in fact true.
When we went to see Houdini, we did have some goals. One of them is basically we wanted the code. Houdini and Bess had a code word, and if one were to die, the other would go to a medium and have a code word come through the medium to let the other know that they're still alive. And that was really the goal, is to go get the code, go to Bess, let her know that Houdini was alive, and then come back to Houdini and let him know, but we didn't get the code. Overall, I think we visited Houdini 3 times. One to get the code. The second time was after Bess, after we went to visit his wife. And the third time was to go back and prove some theories. He was very responsive to us once he knew what we were doing.
You know, when we got there at Harry Houdini's grave, and we definitely wanted to contact the great Harry Houdini. He's always said if there was a way of coming back, that he would be able to come back. So that was the goal, to see if he could come through.
Are you Harry Houdini? Can you once again try that? Can you try to say the word magic?
Just a brief magic. Then?
No way. No way. You did.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
How did I feel about getting Houdini's voice? We were shocked and amazed. We couldn't believe it. I mean, of all people to speak to us through that ghost box, of course, Houdini made his presence known, and now we have to share this with the world.
I think as far as investigations go, I mean, it was one of the top ones. I mean, we got a lot of information. He really interacted with us, so it was really good.
Yeah, you know, we're looking at an iconic figure, and with him being the showman that he is, you know, that personality really expresses itself, you know, from beyond the grave, and that's something that, in our experience, that we've noticed that people who had large personalities in life are easier to communicate with.
Right, and really showing up kind of unannounced and not being known as a haunted location. You know, if you got someone's house, oh, I have a haunted house, kind of a notion of what you're gonna kind of be walking into, or you know that there's a spirit there. But here, we had no idea. I mean, we kind of went there, not on a whim, but we kind of went there to say, hey, let's see if we can contact Harry Houdini. And it was successful.
Yeah, it's a win-win either way. I mean, we were able to visit the grave and pay our respects, and, well, you know, we just, like you said, you know, we were successful at it. So.
Right.
We're hoping that you can manipulate this equipment. We're hoping that you can manipulate this equipment. We're hoping that you can manipulate this equipment.